We acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation as the traditional custodians of the land on which Al, Kate and all their mates is recorded. Always was, always will be.
Well, we are back with another episode of Al, Kate and all their mates, and our mate joining us today is Katie Brown. Katie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We usually start off with a little intro as to how we know our mate and trying to work out where we met. Do you remember? I don't remember. I feel like we're just sort of in a similar industry, would have crossed paths, two girls that are obsessed with the Brisbane teams up there, but I can't really recall where we first met.
No, I wonder if I slid into your DMs appropriately, obviously. But
We've had a few of those responses across the season. Yeah,
it's also how I met my wife.
And who's also called Kate.
Maybe it was me.
It's a name. No.
Maybe I shot my shot.
I wonder if it's because you played Lions and then I was following AFLW.
I reckon it's somewhere across the way,
Damn,
some sort of.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll go back through and find out.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us. We will get started with Can't Stop, Won't Stop. So basically anything that at the moment you can't stop listening to, whether it's a new album or you're reliving an old album, a podcast that you love, something that you've just watched on TV or at the movies, something that you want to tell the audience about that you think they should get into as well.
Ella Langley. Country music. I love country music.
Go.
I have for forever, but I just am so in my country era at the moment. So anybody listening, Ella Langley, Lainey Wilson, Luke Combs is obvious, but Ella Langley's my new girl. Choosing Texas.
Yeah, rate that.
Have you been getting into CMAT as well?
No,
have you heard about this artist? It's like Irish.
Damn it.
Do you know what I'm talking
What's
about?
that?
No, so Al loves some left of centre music.
This isn't even left of centre. This isn't even left of centre. CMAT's like an awesome Irish country artist.
Oh, okay.
Very queer coded. If you love Chapel Roan and country music, head to see CMAT.
CMAT.
All right.
Okay, done.
I'm on it.
Yeah,
Is
me
that
too.
your Can't Stop, Won't Stop then?
No, it's not. But now I feel like I'm going to get roasted for this one. But look, one thing that I talk about a lot is just how awesome it is to be a fan of something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to be to believe in something and have something speak to you so much, whether it's a sports team or an artist or an actor or whatever, and you're just hanging out for the next thing. And an artist that I'm a massive fan of is this artist named Snail Mail, and she's been around for ages.
I actually do know Snail Mail.
Yeah, you must know Snail Mail, but she is one of my faves, and she hasn't had a record out in a while, and just soon before recording this episode, dropped a single from her next record. It's called Dead End, and I think it's an absolute ripper. I can't get enough of it.
Okay, cool.
right,
I'm going to
I'm
add that to
taking
the
your
playlist. Mine for the moment, Katie, you're on 7, so I'm going to have a little Channel 7 flavour about this. But to anyone that will listen, so weather presenters are very state-based. So I think, is it Tony Auden up there? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So grew up with Tony, all sorts of different weather presenters. And I feel like depending on where you live, that's your perspective of the weather presenter and also what network you watch. Yep. When I moved to Melbourne, there was a particular weather presenter that just, pardon the pun, took me by storm. And it was Jane Bunn.
Oh!
I fucking love Jane Bunn.
We love Jane Bunn.
And
Jane Bunn is popular.
yeah. And then I got to the Saints and I told everyone at the Saints, oh my God, I just moved down here and how cool is your weather presenter, Jane Bunn? And then everyone's like, oh, Kate's obsessed with Jane Bunn, blah, blah, blah. Turns out Jane Bunn is the most dedicated, well, maybe behind you, Al, Saints supporter. She is hardcore Saints fan.
I reckon she could be perhaps even more hardcore. She knows her
Loves
shit.
the Saints.
She loves it. And she shows up.
Yeah, and I rock up to my first ever jersey presentation and season launch. Guess who's emceeing? Jane Bunn. And now, yes, it was I was so nervous. I was nervous meeting Jane Bunn. She would have no idea I met Jane Bunn, but it was a real full circle moment. And now I'm pretty much working alongside her, even though I'm not on the news. I am employed.
Same Christmas party.
Yeah, Jane and I are colleagues.
You're besties.
So
she doesn't know it.
Shout out to Jane Bunn and anyone
Jane.
that's not from Melbourne that doesn't know the Jane Bunn weather effect. Just get online and search Jane Bunn. And you know the really cool thing about Jane that not a lot of people know, first of all, she's a meteorologist. So she actually she does her own forecasts. Mm-hmm. So right up until say 5:55 when she's on to do her weather report. Like she is looking at, she doesn't use bomb, she uses like some off-brand, really high level weather reporting technology and does her own forecasts and makes sure that to the minute they are up to date.
Yeah.
So Jane Bunn lives, breathes, tells the weather.
And on top of that, she and Tony Auden, because they're both meteorologists, are like creating their own. So you're going to love her even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Respect.
shout out to Jane. Can't stop, won't stop talking about Jane Bunn.
It's
Should we
true.
dedicate this episode to Jane?
Yeah. For you, Jane. Jane, if you're listening or watching, come join us on the couch sometime.
Very open invitation, please, please.
Oh, you should. I'll try and help with that.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Well, Katie, thank you for coming and joining us today. We wanted to start from the bottom. Now we're here. And you came through, I guess, a part and the way that I guess people on television now are discovered is very different to the way that they were. Now I feel like if people sort of post enough Instagram reels or influence enough, then they are able to branch out into television or broadcasting. Whereas you started at Wide Bay in regional Queensland. I'm guessing post-uni and went up there as a full-time sports reporter.
Yeah.
Take us through the journey from there to where you are now, full-time on Sunrise.
Strap yourself in. No, I remember seeing it on Seek. Yeah. And I got a call from the boss, Rex Clark, and he said, "Have you got a criminal history?" And I said, "Oh, the only thing I can think about is I got kicked out of the PO in Grafton once and the cops came, but I don't think it's on my record." And he laughed and I got the job the next day. And then I thought I was living the dream in Harvey Bay. Like,
Oh, what a place.
39,000 a year, we'll never forget it. I was like, man, and put my overtime in. No, forget that. Overtime, ridiculous. But yeah, I thought that was my dream job. And I think because I just loved every moment, that then helped me go to like the next space. And then it was Rockhampton, and then
Was
it was
it a lot of
Gold
rugby
Coast.
league?
Heaps
Lots of
rugby
rugby?
league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are doing this.
Like
and-
AF what? And that wasn't until we got to the Gold Coast, and then it was like a bit of AFL because Gary Ablett was there. Yeah, and then the rest is sort of history. Just kept going. But then I left Seven for a better paid opportunity with NRL, and then after that I got a call from Paddy Welsh, and he said, "Come back to Queensland." And so I did. And then he was sick one morning, and he was like, "You do the Sunrise courses, I don't want to." And so at the Gabba, ahead of like a test match, I did it. And then Sunrise were like, "Who's that girl?" And then it went from there. I got the job at Sunrise.
I remember when I was at uni, my job was that I was like a media monitor, and as a part of it, I had to watch all of the like regional news bulletins and get whatever, content that they needed from these things. And I became very attached to a particular regional reporter. His name was Dougal Beattie. Dougal, I don't know if you're out there, but he was like he was reporting. It was like Win Central Vic or like something like that, and he would do all of the sort of like niche little stories. And I was just like rooting for my dude, Dougal Beattie. And then one time I was at work, and it was on like the big, Channel 9 nightly news broadcast, and Dougal Beattie had a story, and I was like, my boy, there he is. And I tweeted him to congratulate him, and he never responded. But
Oh, dog.
Dougal Beattie was reading the news at Channel 9 Melbourne, and he's signed off after 12 years. He's recently retired.
all I can say is that I can identify talent. He's made it. That's what I'm saying. I have an eye for talent. And Dougal Beattie was my guy.
Maybe we should get Dougal Beattie on here too.
Let's get Dougal Beattie on. But I just remember being a uni kid watching this young bloke have a crack at it, and I was like, I love this guy. Yeah.
Far out.
Have you ever seen old stuff that you did? Like back in the day?
Yeah.
How do
I
you
used
feel?
to put on that voice. And it
Can you give it
stings
to
me.
us?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys have had a scandal. Tell us.
Oh, watch. Yep. Al, Kate, and all their mates. The Cowboys have had a scandal in North Queensland. Like, what the hell? Why?
It sounds like you're swallowing the words as they come out.
Please trust me. I have your information. Katie Brown.
Reporting for 7 years.
Yes.
Oh, I just want to punch myself in the head. Honestly, I'm like, but you still hear it. And I giggle and I listen to people. I remember that. I remember doing that. Stop doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't have to do it now. But I get it because beyond that, there was that. you had to have that voice of authority.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be nasally to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like my mum, when I started to get tattoos, she has I think she's come around to them now, but she hated tattoos back in the day and said if I ever got one, I'd be out of the will, all of that jazz. And her comments around sort of what it looked like and stuff was like, oh, well, like you're starting to get places on TV. You'll never be on TV with tattoos. To the point where Channel 7 at times have asked me to show more tattoo.
Wow.
I love this. It's quite edgy. It's quite cool. Could you get more tats out? I'm like,
Damn.
absolutely.
You want to start paying for them too, Jonathan? Like, got more of a sleeve.
And it is. It's how like the world of television has changed. And I think like for you, obviously starting where you started, trying to fit the mold.
Yeah.
Now it's so clear that you are authentically yourself when you're on TV, and watching you and the vibrance that you bring to a show like Sunrise, which at times can be like really quite dark, and it's a news program, and so many people that we've spoken to have said how depressing the news can be at times, and you are just like a bright light in a lot of those times where you're so authentic, you're so yourself. You come from a place where anything is content, and you look like you are so happy to just put your hand up and do anything. Maybe it is because I know you and you're always up for it. You're always up for a good time, but also because you know that some people are watching and they want to be entertained, and that's what TV is at the end of the day.
So true.
How do you feel about being so keen to throw yourself in at the deep end?
I think because it is me.
Yeah.
Like you said, further to that point of fitting into a mold, when I was living the dream in Harvey Bay and the Gold Coast, it was a news program, and thankfully it was sport, so I still had a bit of room to have a little bit of a casual sense. But then Sunrise, I was like, holy moly, I am 110% me when that camera is on or off. Like, sure, there are segments where I've got to add a bit more energy because I'm having a flat day. Like, I don't want people to know if I'm having an off day. That's not their problem. I can deal with that after. For 2.5 minutes, I'm here to make you smile. You can laugh at me or you can laugh with me. But life is so serious, and I think how I got brought up is just, let's have a bit of fun.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that Kate and I have bonded over, despite our, very different, I guess, like career paths, is that whether you're playing on the footy field or you're on stage, like you are performing, and they call it that. They call it performance, and it's totally the same with you. I mean, that's what we're hearing right now. So, what are some of the strategies that you have when you just you just really don't want to have to front up, but you got to, do the job and perform and give your best?
Oh, yeah, because last year I went through a bit personally, and I was like, you're just swearing in your head and you're like, oh, shit. It's the like, all right, and that's it. Like, that's all I have to really do, because I know that I'm a glass half full kind of girl. I'm so bloody lucky. My life rocks. Sure, we go through, like, everyone experiences tragedy, heartbreak, and to different extents. It's not a competition, but I know that at the end of the day, I am so loved by the people I need to be loved by. And so, yeah, for 2 minutes, my life's not that bloody hard. Like, I don't need to do much. I just need to take a deep breath. That's what helps me.
Have there ever been, I know you alluded to last year being really tough. Like, have there been times though, because I'm similar, it's like I'm here to do the work. I'm getting on with it, whatever. And I'm not going to bring the people down around me and share what's going on until sort of we have the time to actually talk about it. But like, have there been times, because I've definitely had times where like fronting up has been so hard. And no matter how much you want to push through, you're just like, at the end of the day, we have jobs where you're on TV. Like, if you've been crying, people can tell. Like, it's not like a job where in an office you walk in and if you want to for the day, you might not have to talk to anyone.
Yeah, keep
because
your head
you can
down,
just say like,
it,
hey, I'm going through a bit at the moment. Can you just leave me be today? I'll get back to you tomorrow and we'll talk it out. TV, you can't do that. It's everyone sees every part of you. And if you are faking it in a way that's sort of not as good at times, it's obvious. Like, have you had times where you're just like, man, this is really, really hard today, but I'm going to get through it, or I actually can't get through and I need to take some time off?
Yeah, yep. I think maybe on a handful of times I could count where I've had to really focus on not crying on air.
Yep.
Like, just thinking about that, I'm like, oh yeah, there's been at Sunrise when things have, you get a text just before I go on air and I'm like, rattled. Yeah. I can feel the tears building up, and it's like almost have to do like a little dance on the spot and like just shake it out.
Yeah.
but never a time where I haven't been able to work because I have taken time off. Work is super protective. Yeah. Like I went through a breakup last year and trying to be honest about that with your audience, because in the thick of it, I don't want to be honest. I would just push through because I'm dealing with it really, with myself and my family and my friends. I don't need to tell the public about that. But then I also have this, I feel like I'm a genuine person. So people deserve to know, not that you have to tell them, but I want people to know the highs and lows, because I do feel like social media can be so fake sometimes. So I want to be that person who's like, hey, yeah, has been a shit time. And so I was honest about that. But then I think like I've been through tragedy as well, and losing mates or losing family. And that's a whole different realm where it takes a lot longer to heal from, and probably don't need to like share that publicly. But yeah. Work have been great. Yeah. Work was so like, they were just like, pause, stop, go take some time off, and sort of did it for me because they know I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And
I think it's also from a place where I reckon previously when people have gone through stuff like that, they've just continually tried to push through and push through and push through to the point where something goes really wrong.
Yeah.
And the people, they're not performing to the way that they are. But I feel like our generation are so much better at just being like, hey, I've had a breakup. This is happening at home. I'm going through this at the moment. And I think it's so refreshing to employers too, to be like, we can help you with this.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for telling us and trusting us with that, but we can help, or how can we help?
Yeah.
And then you're able to have that conversation with them.
It's sort of that thing about like, there is sort of like life is, a balance of sort of compartmentalizing things, but also just letting life happen as well. And it's a really like delicate sort of line that we traverse. Like every single person, every single day is trying to strike that balance. So, I mean, it's so great that you feel like you're getting that support, where you're at.
So true. Like, because I think it is weird, isn't it, where you think you can't say something. And early 20s, gosh, I'm not calling my boss and saying, hey, I need to take a week off. But then you realise life happens. People, are going to go through some shit and heavy shit, and you think you've gone through it, and then there's like something else that hits you for six. Or
you hear about something else someone else is going through, and you're like, holy.
Yeah, grateful that I've got a really healthy team around me.
Yeah.
And one thing that you've had to do a lot through your career is move around. Like you've moved, as you've already alluded to, you've moved so many times to so many new towns. Even when you got the gig at Sunrise, I assume that meant immediately relocating to Sydney to be out of
Brisbane
there.
for a bit.
Yep, so you're doing it from there. But like one thing that I feel like is not really spoken about that often is how you make friends as an adult. And making friends as an adult is actually really hard, especially moving to new places and trying to do it. I experienced it when I moved to Melbourne. How have you gone with that? And like, what are some ways, obviously your team at work, straight away you become so close with them, but you don't always want your mates to be people you work with.
Yeah.
How have you made new mates? I mean, I feel like you don't have that much trouble doing it, considering
I can't imagine you'd have much trouble.
outward you are, but like, how have you gone with it?
Yeah, that's a real interesting one. Yeah, I'm good. I'm really good at moving too. If you ever need removal list recommendations.
Honestly,
Can do a move. But making friends, I think I've always got my OGs like from Grafton they don't live in Grafton but can do that. And then playing sport, that was always, if I didn't play sport or have hobbies outside of work, because I hang out with my workmates, but there's always a line, because I don't want to just hang out with my workmates. I'm still friends with people that I met in Rockhampton and Harvey Day, and it's been like all right. You go to a trivia night here and there. I find it's when you're single too, you really like put yourself out to doing other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I got a few mates in different places.
I mean, my friend always says, she's like, if you want to make friends, join a sports club.
Yeah.
She's like, that's the way that you do it.
Yeah.
And I think like especially I feel like women are actually very good at making friends and maintaining those sorts of friendships. And the great thing about sports is that it also facilitates that for guys as well. You know, it's such a great way to socialize and meet people, and also just like organize things too, because there's so many events that come with those sorts of communities.
Yeah,
Which is great.
AFL is so much better than netball in that realm.
Yeah.
Just in my experience,
That's interesting.
I'd never experienced a social life in sport until AFL, and I was just playing like Div 2.
You
having
brought
the time.
Broadbeach.
Broady Cats, meow meow.
You got a flag, didn't you? Of the
Yeah,
Cats?
yeah,
Whoa.
Yeah, I had a broken ankle, didn't know it.
Damn.
Yeah, no, that's like little broken. Nothing. Anyway, I'm adding a bit of GST here. But yeah, it was that was fun. We did social nights, and I didn't realise like netball was great. We travelled around a lot, but people when you're adults, you already have your friendship group, especially if you haven't moved around before.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm coming in all guns blazing, ready to make some new mates, and yeah, maybe my energy levels are a little high sometimes.
I think the unique thing about AFL, and this is exactly what kept me in the sport when I was doing it socially. So like I started playing AFL because I was playing a lot of touch football at the time and was really sick of it, was playing like a super high level and was just like, it feels really toxic. I think I'm a bit over it. I need to find a new sport. And went to a training session for a footy team. And like got there and was just like, this is unlike any sport I've ever played. And I think the thing that is so special, especially about like women's AFL, and this is all the way through from like social, local, all the way through to the AFLW, is like you genuinely need different types of people in an AFLW or AFL team to be successful.
Wow, that's a really interesting insight.
You need different shaped people. You need different sized people. You need people that have no idea what's going on and just play on instinct, and you need people that are there to help other people on the field as well. And like netball, yes, you need different types of people, but you need tall people at the ends of the court, and then you need fast, sort of agile people in the middle of the court. And like, especially with the way women's bodies are so different to men's, you need people in footy that are strong, that as a result are of a different body composition to the inside mids. And there is genuinely a place for any type of woman on a football field because they're necessary.
That's so mad.
And within that, you find so many different characters. And I think you find sort of making friends with people that you previously may not have connected with. And I think footy has such a great way of doing that on the field, but also off the field as well.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So
true.
you've obviously have a history with so many sports now. You just said AFL League, also netball. Has sport just always been a part of your life in that way?
Yeah, sport kept me out of trouble as a kid. Like when I think of what my identity was growing up, if I didn't play sport and care about, I had a horse, so I got to ride
horse girl.
horse. I was
You
a
wanted a
horse
horse girl. You asked for a horse girl on the show, and here we go. We have
I'm
our
a crazy
horse
horse
girl.
girl, but I didn't know that it was a crazy thing. And then I'm like, oh yeah, no, that fits the bill.
I guess you do kind of have horse girl hair. It's very nice. Horse girls always have lovely hair.
They do have nice hair.
Yeah.
I was a hairdresser.
Maybe that's right. A horse girl hairdresser.
There you
the
go.
combo.
And I could braid the mane and the tail. But that
Stunning.
taught me how to look after something else really early on and stay away from a TV. And then, sport, I would do anything to get out of school to play sport.
Yep.
And I would do anything to not be hungover and play sport. So that kept me away from
Accountability.
Yeah.
parties. Yeah, mum would say if like there was one time there I lied about a party and then I wasn't allowed to play a game of netball and you should have seen the tantrum. I'm such a different person to what I was when I was 16. I was a demon.
Yeah.
A very terrible little sport brat.
But like, I think that's exactly the lessons that sport teaches us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like turning up for your mates as well.
Absolutely.
Like, yes, there's the damn, like I can't play and I really wanted to play because I made a bad choice or because I did this. But like, I've also let like people down that mean a lot to me. And then it's like, it teaches you so much as sort of someone going through whatever it might be, but especially in like your formative years where you have to learn what it takes to be a good team player and the elements to that.
It's exactly like being in a band. It's the same thing, you know, if the drummer drops a ball, then like there's no drummer. Like what do, you know? And it's about everyone like showing up for each other and playing their role in the same way as any team.
Very important to be a part of a team in something, whether it's
I
sport
agree.
or not sport, because letting down someone you care about is a very good lesson to learn
Early.
preferably not in your 30s. Yeah.
So back on sort of your zest and what you bring to the show on Sunrise, I came across some content that looked wild, and I don't know if this is even the most wild thing you've done, but you got dragged by a car live, like in a controlled environment. Let's just put that out there. Katie wasn't hit on air or anything like that. But like that was one of the most wild things I've seen.
It was
What
so
else have you
wild.
done? Like there's surely like a whole catalogue of things that are just insane.
Yes, everything and anything. I feel like I've got to write a list of what I haven't done, and it would be shorter. But
Don't do that and don't show that to them because they'll make you do it.
Yeah, that's true. They're like, is anything off limits? And the mistake I made early on was like, no, I'm pretty open to do like whatever. They're like, okay, here, do this, swing off like, in
You did like a
Queenstown.
bungee. Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh my God,
Did
Katie.
you cry when you cried when you were doing that? Or
no,
you
I
just were
didn't
so
cry.
overwhelmed that
It was so chill, and then it got not chill.
Yeah.
Because old mate who was cutting the wire with a plastic seesaw thing, he started talking about his jail time, and I was like, bro, it's getting old now. Just cut the rope, like I'm ready to fall. And then I'm like having a speech, having a moment. Far out. But you know how I got dragged by the car? What people didn't see was that was at a stunt park, and the Holden Commodore was being held up by a pitchfork, sorry, not a pitchfork, one of those steel like fence posts. So if that steel fence post had fallen off, which could easily happen, the camo just smacks it, camera operator smacks it and goes into my face. Like, man, that thing's going to take my face out real quick. And there were so many things that could have gone wrong, but I guess that's what makes TV is like it didn't that time.
yeah.
We had Dyson Heppel on here talking about all the stuff that he did on I'm a Celebrity, and it's got nothing on this.
No,
Jeez.
Sunrise is tougher.
Sunrise is metal as fuck.
I watch those shows and I'm like, I wouldn't be able to handle it. And then I'm
You
like,
do worse.
No, that's like
I
child's
just am pretty
play.
messed up stuff. Yeah.
And you do it in a way that like you're not allowed to be like you're not allowed to show you're scared, or if you are, like you ham it up and make it as scared as possible. Whereas these guys on this thing are like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't have to read the weather while I'm doing this. I'm okay. And that was your way into Sunrise, was covering Sam Mack.
Yes.
On his paternity leave.
Yeah.
You'd obviously not. I mean, we did a spiel on weather reporters at the top of the show, but
And on.
this is a different, like morning breakfast reading the weather is you're on location, you're doing something, sort of you're adding colour and then you read the weather as a result. How was that to start with?
Hilarious, because I was like, I'm not a meteorologist. Like, how am I allowed to do this? And then quickly learning that it's very much about engaging the audience, having lots of fun. But in saying that, I always love upskilling. And so this year I'm actually doing the bomb meteorologist course because and that doesn't suggest anything. I'm not taking Sam Mack's job at all. He is such a king. Yeah. But just more or less understanding how weather works. And I surf now, so I'm naturally very interested in it. But I think it helps when you're reading and then can just add value. And after I covered Cyclone Alfred, that was like a whole event where I was trying to understand weather patterns and thought, I'm out of my depth here, just stick to what I know, but this is a really good experience to go, I can be better. So
And now your weather small talk is going to be off the charts.
Yeah.
look out, I'm going to use
Quite literally. We like to do a segment we call No Dumb Questions. And it's basically our opportunity to ask things that we think people of the industry that we have with us might want to always ask them. Or your opportunity to fire anything that you've wanted to ask either an athlete or a musician at the same time. I'll kick it off. And I feel like this is probably something you get asked all the time, so apologies in advance. But like sunrise, that is very, very, very early mornings. How early is very early? And also, how do you maintain any kind of social life when you're waking up at the time that you are?
Okay. Yep. So wake up time is anywhere between 2:45 and 4. And it depends on how far we have to drive in the morning. And sometimes it's like 5 minutes, sometimes it's an hour. It's fine. It is like you get the alarm, you're like, all right, yep, not dealing with that. Then social life is sweet. So I will clock off by 9:30, 10 o'clock each day. And if we're not on a travel day, I have the Arvo off. If I'm tired, I have a nap. I don't have kids, so it's pretty easy. And I go to bed at 9 o'clock, 9:30. And if something's on that night, I sort of can look a day or two ahead, no further, because my life is so unplanned. But I'll go out, and then just deal with it the consequences.
It's inspiring. I don't go out and I don't wake up at 2.
No excuse.
I'm sure it'll catch up to me. No, it's like go out. I might not get past, like as in going out. I might just watch a sporting match and be sober, not go out and party until.
No. Yeah, I'm still. No.
But once every blue moon is okay. Yeah. I'm like, I've got to experience this now. Like I can't miss this game. I've got to go to this game because I might not get another AFL game or might not get another Origin, and make the most of it.
What is the weirdest interaction you've had? Because you are out in interesting environments at different times. And like there's times where you're sort of out in the public that like people are sometimes a little bit strange in those elements.
They are.
Have you had strange interactions or just had to do things that you're like, this is a little bit odd?
Yeah.
Any you can talk about?
Yeah. The 2 stalkers I can't talk about, and I'm not even lying. That's scary. No, it's okay. Then recently I had a guy who had taken photos of me on a morning of weather, but hadn't come up and said hello and commented like on a couple of TikToks and posted the photos. And I actually called him out. I think it's important to just call those people out and then go, hey, why didn't you come up and say hello?
Yeah.
Like he was hiding behind bins. It was a bit weird.
Yeah.
And then there's another one, like he kept stopping. I was working at an event for a week, so he sort of knew I was there. There's a common theme here. They're all men. And he stopped and would get a photo, and each day he stopped and would get another photo. I was like, what's he doing with these photos? Then on the last day, he gave me a gift voucher, like a Visa $50 gift voucher. So weird. And also, it's $4.95 to activate that thing. Like, is that coming out of the $50 or is this on top? Like, am I paying to activate this thing? And then the other one was like a fancy plant that he had. It was in Noosa. He got it out of his garden and he brought it down and gave me the plant. I was like, I can't take this on the plane, but thank you. So there's a few that have just come to my head like, bam. Yeah.
That's strange areas.
Yeah. Damn. So I do a lot of latergram.
Yeah.
Lots of latergram. I've realised that there's a few steps to put in place for a little bit of privacy these days, which I didn't.
Sounds like a good strategy.
Yeah. Boundaries are important.
Boundaries are really important. And this parasocial thing that I'm learning about.
Yeah.
People think they know you. Yeah, I'm sure. Do you guys experience this?
Yeah, I experience it myself with people like Taylor Swift.
And Jane Bunn. No, you actually
Jane
met her.
Bunn.
So
yeah, no, I have met her, so that's okay. That takes it to a real life encounter. But yeah, like I think you're right. And the way that sort of social media seems to give people a fair bit of access to lives, and exactly the same way you were referring to it, like it's nice to be authentic on apps like that so people do feel like there is hard times in life, because there's some people that are very inauthentic on apps like that where everything's perfect, everything's easy. But I think it does sort of blur the lines at times with people thinking they know you or thinking that they have a relationship with you, or they can sort of push those boundaries a little bit more, and keeping those in place is super important.
Yeah, I also think that people who read the news are also more at risk of that sort of stuff, because like you're being broadcast into people's homes every night and you're a part of their routine and you're a part of their life. But also because usually the news is region based, they know where you are.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like they know that you're going to be there covering the stuff like nearby if something happens. So you're quite accessible in that way. So even like before you get to social media, the parasocial stuff of it all is already there just purely because of the nature of the job.
So true. Yeah.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
One thing that I did want to ask you about, and it was something that you encountered later last year that was a massive tragedy, obviously, on the scale of things. You experienced Bondi firsthand. I just wanted to check in and see, like, how are you after that? Because we saw you the next day with a very powerful interview with Nat on just what it was like and how, like, how much that was affecting the whole community.
Yeah.
Like, how are you? How are you going? Like, that is so much to process.
It was. And I still think I am processing it, because when you're so attached to something, such a weird thing. Like, we frequently are reporting on tragedy and huge events that happen worldwide. And then it's sort of rare to be in a position where you do cover something and then you're there. And it was like, it was the most terrifying day of my life.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because hindsight's wonderful. You look back now and I go, wow, I was so fortunate. Like I've got nothing on the tragedy that struck so many friends and family. But at the time, when you're hearing people go from 0 to 100 screaming like shooter, and lots of it comes back in like patches and yes, over your shoulder, like run, drop your surfboard, hide here, go there, and not knowing what to do, but then also letting your body just take over and do what's normal for you, but then seeing how other people react as well is so wild. Seeing the worst of humanity and the best of humanity at the same time is like, a wild experience in itself. But yeah, I'm good. I think it takes a bit to process, and I just am so grateful and thankful that I am okay. But at the same time, you can't help but feel, and like all of us, I think everyone can relate. We just feel that it sucked that it ended so horrifically. Yeah.
And I know like part of that was surfing, and you love your surfing.
Yeah.
Has like you've obviously, have you been out surfing since? And like it's so weird that something that provides so much solace, and I imagine it's like a lot of surfers, I don't surf myself, but talk about how peaceful it is when you're surfing. Like, is that crazy to think of the two events and sort of being able to now go back out and surf and feel peace again?
Yeah, I can. And I actually I see a psychologist, and she just said to me, like, remember how great it is that you surf and something you love so much helped protect you in a way that you get, and that's your relationship and like that's your thing. And I just took that same surfboard out the next day, and then I took it on the paddle, because on the Friday we did a paddle to remember those that were lost. And that was really healing in itself. And surfing, I started surfing because when I started the job at Sunrise, I was going in a spiral. So it was such a change from a newsroom working such long hours to smaller hours, but trying to manage the adrenaline. And like you both experience it in your careers. You're like high one moment, then you come down and you're like trying to manage that. So surfing just completely the positives completely outweigh any negative that we'll ever experience, including the shark attacks too. Like they've been
that's
horrific too.
Yeah.
Well, life.
I know, throws everything at you, doesn't it? Well, we want to finish with a nice, easy segment. It's called Extra Time. It's quick fire. Answer it in as much detail or as little detail as you'd like. The first one is, what is your coffee order?
Long black.
No matter what the weather?
Or a nice long black.
Yeah, nice.
What was the last TV show or movie you watched?
Rip.
I don't know.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
His and Hers was really good too.
How good is His and Hers?
That one's come up a few times. Yeah.
It's really good.
So good.
Yeah, really good. Favorite holiday destination?
I'm going to Nashville, and I think it will be my favorite.
I'll show you some places to go to.
Please.
Yeah. I've got the whole thing.
Haven't been there though.
When are you going? No, it's the best.
April.
Oh, no.
No, I won't
won't be back in
We'll
the
talk.
States
Yeah, we'll talk. I'll show you some good spots. Well, we kind of know the answer to this one, but are you an early bird or a night owl?
Yeah, early bird.
Have you always naturally been an early bird?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But not 2:30.
No.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other, I mean, that's a 2:30 is actually night owl.
Yeah, that's night owl.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, if Katie can get up early, maybe I can start getting up earlier.
You can.
But you're a natural night early bird, so it doesn't work.
I'm going to wake you up when I'm awake at 2:30 at the pub, being like, wakey, wakey.
Do not disturb my friend.
Yeah.
Do you prefer to cook or do the dishes?
I'll do dishes any day.
Early win or late comeback?
Let's go late comeback.
Yeah.
And Katie Brown, what is one thing that the world needs more of right now?
Happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been the very common answer.
Yeah. And potato.
Potato.
Man,
Deep fried potato.
Deep fried. Potato and bacon,
So
bacon
versatile.
every cafe.
Yeah.
Yep.
happiness and potato. Well, on that note,
one might lead to the other, really.
well, on that note, thank you so much for joining us, Katie. It's been such a treat having you.
And keep doing what you're doing because it's wonderful to watch.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe everywhere you get your podcasts. Our Kate and all their mates with our mate, Katie Brown.